So today we are going to see a recap of the last class, operation strategy. That is a mission statement for every organization will be there. Actually, mission statement tells about an organization where it is going. The strategy tells the organization how to get over there. So the strategy is for competitive advantage, differentiation. The better, at least different product we have to come in the market, and cost leadership. It should be very cheap, otherwise cheap and best the people are looking for, and cost leadership will be maintained by all the competitors, and quick response, that is more responsive according to the market, according to the demand we have to come out. That is an operation strategy of any organization. So every organization has to update itself, upgrade itself, and upskill their uh, what you call new things, adoption of new technologies, new courses, working on new missions they have to do. That is update, upgrade, and upskilling. That is the strategy of the organizations. Strategic options to gain a competitive advantage. So here, mostly we have given the percentages, that is 28%, that is operation management, 18% is the marketing and distribution, 17% is momentum, that is the name recognition, 16% is the quality and service, 14% is good management, 4% financial resources, 3% is others. So the most 28%, that is operation management, works on the competitive advantage. So we have already studied in international business, that is global operation strategies, that is international strategy, multi-domestic strategy, global strategy, transactional strategies, and normally the reasons why the people will go for globalization is to reduce costs, improve supply chain, provide better goods and services, understand markets, learn to improve operations, attract and retain global talent. So, normal tangible reasons will move down to the intangible reasons. So, the tangibles are the reduction of cost, improving supply chain, and the intangible reasons are attracting and retaining global talent. So, this is an recap of operation strategy. So here, OEM's contribution to the strategies, we have operations and the decisions in the operations or the product quality, process, location, layout, human resource, supply chain, inventory, scheduling, and maintenance. These are operation uh, decisions that any operations management or an operations department is going to take care of that. Examples: Sony constant innovation of new products, that is designing every 6 months it is going to change. And Hewlett Packard ability to follow the printer market, that is in volumes they will be coming everywhere. You can see the HP printers only. It is Hewlett Packard. Southwest Airlines, no frill service, that is low cost service is the Southwest Airlines. And in delivery system, we have examples: Pizza Hut, 5 minute guarantee at lunchtime, that is a speedy delivery. Federal expects absolutely positively on time, that is dependability. And in the quality parameters, Motorola automated products, ignition system, that is conformance, Motorola pagers were there earlier, not now. IBM after sale service is best among all the companies. Fidelity Security Board line of mutual funds, broad product line. It has a very big product line in that. Competitive advantage, that is differentiation, the better thing, and the response is the faster, and cost leadership. These are the competitive advantage you are going to see. So some multinational companies like Citicorp, home country is USA, percentage of sales outside home country is 34%, assets outside the home country is 46%. Colgate USA, 72% in the home country, 63 assets percentage of outside assets are there. You can see Dow, Gillette, Honda, ICI, EBM, Nestle, Philips, Siemens, and Unilever. Unilever products, most of all in India, we have, that is a Britain company. You can see the 95% of sales are outside and 70% of assets in the home country they have. And 64 percent of people foreign work service or something. You can see about some six companies, no foreign workforce they will be using, but here down the line like IBM, Nestle, Philips, Siemens, and Unilever, they are going to use some percentage of foreign workforce in other countries also. So this is a just recap and some additions regarding the earlier class. But today's class is regarding the process design, process structures, that process cycle, if time permits, product development cycle also we are going to see. So here in the process structures, we have some three, four, five different types of structures out there. Means we are going to define them. That is a project, as well as your project. You can say Jurala project. You can say any building of roads. Some project. If you are going to say the process which has high customization and provides products in low volumes. Normally, each product that is produced is specialized according to the customer needs and wants. In order to complete the project process, a company will normally need to bring a specialized resources. Projects also requires workers with specialized skills in order to complete the product or service. This process normally has low capital intensity but high flexibility. You would have seen laying of national highway by the National Highway Authorities of India. You would have seen so much of bottlenecks will be there, so much of turnings will be there. Actual design every time it is going to change. You would have seen that national highway, our national highway 44, at Shadnagar, you would have seen it outside. They have taken the design. Normally, it was going from inside the town, but it has been changed. So that flexibility is higher and low capital intensity because they are going to get the money in the phased manner. So projects is a structure, process structure will be different. If you are going to see job shop, job shop has a low volume with high customization. In this structure, there are specific processing steps that are performed which are different from each product. Means each product, when you are going to take, the process differs. Example, I'm going to take a classical example, that is flour mill, Girni. Flour mill, we have chili powder making unit, grinder items, and we have wheat flour and jawari flour that he's going to adjust that levers. So here three types of machines. If anybody comes for anything, they are going to start that particular unit and they are going to end up and give. In this flour mill, they are going to take rice, they are going to take wheat, they are going to take jawar, they are going to take pulses, dal also, and different types they are going to adjust and they are going to, though it is very in the smaller amounts, but different processings they are going to do. But in the project case, we cannot do that. If it is a thermal plant, we are going to do thermal only. If you are going to for road laying, we are going to do the road laying only. But in jobs shop, workers in this process structure are highly skilled and able to use different machineries. Job shops are highly flexible and have low capital investment. If we have batch, a batch process produces products in batches, means a lot wise, 100, 2000, 1 ton, 2 tons. It's a batch. They are going to, they are not going to take another order into consideration and they are going to produce this batch. After completing this batch, again they are going to set the machines and again they are going to do another. But in the meantime, they cannot do any other thing. Quantities are small to moderate and are some are flexible, causing moderate customization. Here, moderate customization means all standardized will be there. Assembly line. In the group, we have uh, shared a tip that is regarding the toothpaste, the color, that is the squares, eye markers on the toothpaste, that is assembly line machines. They will be taking care of some operations. So here, a line process has standardized customization and volume. An assembly line uses a line flow of information and material. Companies that use this process generally use a make to stock strategy. A line also involves a high amount of capital investment. So here assembly line, it will be a continuous flow and standardized. They are going to give continuous the work will be flowing, but information also flows and high amount of capital investment is required because it is continuous. So the last line we have, that is continuous flow of items. Continuous flow has a fixed amount of steps for producing each product. This for years, the same product, it is like screw making unit. For the year long, for the 10 years long, they will be doing the same work. And oil refineries, petroleum products, continuously they will be doing the same fixed amounts of steps will be there. Each product, same product, high volumes they are going to do. That is called continuous flow. This process structure produces high volumes with standardized product. It also has low flexibility and involves high capital in continuous flow. Manufacturers want to maximize utilization to avoid unnecessary expenses. So these characteristics of process design or project is different, job shop is different, batches is different, assembly line different, continuous flow is different. So these are the process. So process designs, the same thing I have kept in the graph model, job shop, print shop, emergency room, machine shop, fine dining, that will be process focused. Repetitive, that is the assembly line. Every time the same work will be repetitive. Cars, appliances, TVs, fast food. Moderate volume, you can say moderate here. And product focus is the continuous steel, and we have uh, paper and bread, institutional chicken, and mass customization at high volume Dell computer species. So process designs, these are the structures and examples. Project, a building a house, it will take so many shapes. The blueprint will be some other thing, while laying will be different, and when doing the going to change something. Job shop, paint shops, you would have seen Berger paints or Nerolac paints. You go and ask about a color, he is going to mix three or four and he is going to match that color and give. That is job shop. How much you need? 10 liters, 5 liters, 2 liters, 3 liters. He is going to make it and give. Nowadays, dealers and distributors are doing the same. And batch, a bakery, batch of Usmania biscuits, a batch of bread, a batch of donuts, a batch of some burgers. Like that, they will be doing a batch. That is a bakery. Line, cafeteria line, it will be continuous. That is a coffee day. We have the coffee, continuous flow of oil refineries. That is an example. Selecting the right process structure for what you are doing, that you have to do. If the process requires customization with low volume, use a project, job shop or batch process. If the process requires standardized thing products, high volumes, use an assembly line or continuous flow. So this is how the process structures differs while if you are going for choosing the process. So here also another graph, high, that is a project, low in the volumes, job shop, batch process, assembly line, continuous flow of items, another manufacturing per unit, job shop, batch, assembly line, continuous flow. The time also you would have seen continuous for the longer hours it will be going. So now we are going to see this process design, whatever you are going to say, if you want to take a project, if you want to take batch, or some influencing factors will be there on changes of the design. So here, the objective of organization is to provide service and product which satisfy customer and create value for them. The product service designed to based on the customer feedback and requirement, and according to the market only they have to come out with. Without the market sync we cannot come out with. Process design is where the product is broken into parts which further helpful in manufacturing the things. So here, for example, has attractive packaging to provide the right aesthetic plus functions and features which provide value to the customers. That is a process where you are going to attract the customer. Process design ensures that there is a smooth and continuous relationship between the output and the intermediate process. Example, manufacturing of air conditioners. Process design has to be such that maximum supply is achieved during the hot months of summer when demand of the product is as highest. So people, process and machines need to align with the continuous production towards year seasonal demand. So that is nature of demand. If you are going to see the demand, organizations have to produce the products and services based on customer needs and preferences. So they have to schedule their production so as to be able to meet the estimated future demand levels. That is nature of demand. So process design, if we have continuous, then we'll go continuous or assembly line. We have only few things, that is job shop. We have paints for this particular season for 10 houses, we can plan for that. So nature of demand will influence the process design. Influencing at the price levels, price volume influences the process design. A customer price sensitive, you would have known tendency, if you are going to increase the price, then the demand will fall. So we have to check the price levels too. Then degree of vertical integration is an extension which production and distribution chain is brought under the ownership of the organization. Vertical integration is two types, that is forward and a backward. Forward integration is the expansion of ownership of production to the distribution towards the market. When it is expanded backward or towards the sources of supplies, it is referred to as backward. Vertical integration flexibility is manufacturing results in increased profits due to centralized oversights. That is pooling of designs. So here, vertically, if you want to expand, compulsory, we have two or three works, we have to integrate them, and we have to process them, and we have to see that it is going to be done perfectly. So this backward and forward is, the backward is from the raw materials to the production department, whatever the operations are done at the backward level. From finished goods to the end to the wholesalers, retailers, dealers, or to the retailers, that will be the forward thing. So in this degree of vertical integration, we should see that a desirable and decision to produce components instead of buying them. We have to see buy or uh, make or buy decisions, that we have to do here. Flexibility. The flexibility of an organization is that responds quickly to the changing customer preferences. So as nowadays you would have seen, as COVID has become pandemic, the preferences have been changed. Essentials people are concentrated, not on the luxury. So the companies has to concentrate more on the essential, not on the luxuries. This is flexibility. And here, degree of automation, the automation, either you are going to use artificial intelligence, either you are going to use CNC, or you are going to use CAD, CAM, or robotic structure you are going to use. That is, that also changes your process design. Quality levels, if the people need a cheaper variety or the class variety or the highest quality variety, there will be L1, L2, L3, category 1 to 3, A, B, C, D. Anything, if you are going to take, that process will differ. So the quality levels influence the process design. Degree of customer contact, if you are going to have a customer contact, the customer will tell about the preferences and how he is going to buy the product, and consumer behavior will be knowing, and the preferences. These may affect the process design also. If you are going to see PPC, that is production planning and control. Production planning, if you are going to divide this word, production planning and control, production planning and production control. So it involves everything from scheduling each task in process to the delivery of the products, that is production planning and control. Functions of production planning, estimation. So first here it involves determining the quantity of the garments to be produced or the product to be produced, associated costs involved for the same based on the sales forecast that we have to check, and we have to go for estimation of products. Routing. A routing, it is a method determining the chain of operations can be carried out in the production line to complete the assembling of those work. And we have loading, that is loading means how much of material should be loaded. It is a process of transforming the scheduled process into practical work. Two main concepts, that is loading facility and machine loading. We have two things. Facility loading is the raw materials will be the loading, then machine loading is the into the machines they will be loading. So facility loading, loading of work center are deciding what kind of jobs to be allotted to the particular machine. Machine loading is allocated of specific job to the machines, worker based and premises capacity utilization. So a chart will be there, a man to machine will be matched, and the materials out to the materials will be matched. This all everything will be coming in the production planning. Coming back to the functions of control. The functions of controlling, we have only one thing, that is dispatching and expediting, and that is following up. Dispatching is defined as making the production related activities in dynamic manner by issuing orders and guidelines in the agreement previously planned time frames. Means dispatching means a time frame should be given, and when it should be done, when it should be delivered, these things we are going to get, that is dispatch. Expediting, that is follow up, it confirms the process is done for the production plan and the delivery schedules are met. Coordinating the stores, this following of work will be stages of production, coordinating with stores, tool room, purchase, and maintenance department, revising the production plan, replanning for necessary, that is follow up. So this is called PPC. So here we can see product life cycle, interface between process life cycle and product life cycle. A process life cycle is normal refers to the development process of for development, testing product up to the point the product is released to the market. Means after you will be saying quality check is corrected, and quality control we have seen, that is quality check what we are doing is a process life cycle. Means how much of life of that product will be there, we are going to keep an expiry dates, and we are going to say 6 months, 12 months, this uh, before releasing to the market. A product life cycle, as everyone know about this, introduction, growth, maturity, decline will be there. Normally you would have seen flat monitor screens, color printers, internet, CD-ROMs, drive-throughs, floppy disks have declined. Some floppy disks is fax machines or maturity, they are going to get to decline. And here flat monitors, color monitor, DVDs are in the growth strategy, and drive through restaurants, this is at maturity level, and some have gone for. So here best period to increase the market stage. Here you can see this product wise, this product life cycle has been given, some products have been declined. You see another way of producing this is introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Product design and development critical here. Short product runs, high production cost will be there because no sales are there, slowly increasing. In the growth, you can see forecasting, and here reliability, competitive products, increasing capacity, shift to product, enhanced distribution. In maturity, standardization is already this you have covered, but in production terms, optimum capacity will be used, product improvement, cost cutting here will be there, and in here reducing the capacity, declining stage. Another product life cycle here, learn it, build it, nail it, scale it, extend it, means we have to take out, and end will be there here. So here, each and every author explained this product life cycle in different ways. As you can see, a product life cycle goes from the idea through the product in life. A process life cycle typically covers the slices, a development process of build it phase, a launch, nail it phase. You can think of product life cycle is made of multiple processes. So this is into our first unit uh, of this operation management.